into today. You could go to going to the club and doing the same thing. Everywhere you go, you're doing this type of work. The deepest of work is done in the darkest of places. So once again, beyond the value judgment of where you are in your life or where you're being called to, and like you attempting to separate yourself from certain environments because you over here and so on and so forth. Beloved, why do you think you here? You're here to go to these places to shine this level of light. Why do you think you're here? I mean, you ain't got to go. You ain't got to down all the shots and so on and so forth. You ain't got to get the Patron. You ain't got to do all that. But at the same time, you're showing up. You're showing up. And you're accepting yourself. You're accepting those around you beyond judgment. You ain't there to high post and look at people all crazy because you ascending that. No, you there to shine your light, period. Everybody deserves this light. Everybody deserves this love. These are just reflections of self. These are extensions of who you are. So to label and value judge and put all these dark clouds over people and, oh, they negative and all that energy and so on, this is self-destructive because these are extensions of who you are. If you don't see beauty in them, you don't see beauty in yourself. More self-love is required. If you don't see their beauty, that means there's something inside of you that you don't care for. More self-love is required. We're not doing no fake healing over here. That's not what we do over here. Ain't no fake healing over here. There's no separation over here. Unconditional love is an all-inclusive club. All-inclusive. I used to have these conversations with a number of prostitutes in the club. Off top, no doubt. It wasn't. I wasn't a customer, but at the same time, I love them girls. They're doing what they love to do, and sometimes it gets hard out here. We all doing the best that we can, but once again, God loves everybody. Everybody. Yeah, no doubt about it. And you, Jesus, out here in these streets sometimes too. You heard me? Love your brothers and sisters. Love reflections of self. Once again, we done been in these places before. We done been in these places before. No doubt about it. We done been in these places before. You don't see anything that you haven't done before, beloved. You don't see anything that you have not done before. And if you do, you're sadly mistaken. What you think required to get here to this space? You got to do all that to recognize the true priceless value of your own presence, to embrace your fullness, your authenticity, to accept and have empathy for all these different people. You have to have been to this place before in your life in order to understand and actually connect with them, to see from a higher ground and recognize where they are in their journey. It's all good. We're doing the best that we can out here. This is lifting the collective consciousness, beloved. This energy, you showing up in divine royalty. This is the work. Let's talk about compassion a little bit. Let's dig into that because it's important. It's truly important. Had a conversation with a beautiful sister this week. And she was talking about a situation, especially when it comes to our loved ones. We want to help our loved ones, don't we? Of course we do. And sometimes the most intense arguments we get into is in attempting to assist our loved ones in healing. Our brothers and sisters and our mom or our grandma or auntie and uncle, cousin. We love them. We grew up with them. And it's like, no, I'm learning this stuff. And, this is how life is. And if you can just change this, then it won't be like that. It'll, you love them so much that you want to get them to change. And you want to share the information so they can make those changes. It's hard because you care a lot. You love them. No doubt about it. But once again, we continue to recognize that it's a free will choice. It's a free will choice. Everybody gets to choose. And a lot of our loved ones they will not choose, or they're not willing to choose to take the responsibility that we're taking at present. They're not willing to take that responsibility. It's just, Jesus, Muhammad, Allah, just, my spirits and all right, that's okay. I got it. I love you. I'm learning different things, and you telling me your problems and all the stuff that you're going through, and I see it, and I want to help you, but I can't force you to do anything. I cannot force you to feel the way I feel. I can't. That's not my job in truth. That's not what I'm here to do, to tell you and preach, give you a bunch of motivational speeches about how this ain't cool and this is where the problem. No, I can't do that. I simply have to love you. I simply have to love you. In situations like that, this is an opportunity for me to practice compassion unconditionally, acceptance unconditionally. Even if you may be going down a path that you think might kill a person, I can't stop you from doing or making the choices that you're making. That's your life and that's your free will. I cannot violate your free will no matter how much I love you. Some of you dealing with the same situation with your own kids or your mother or your father or whoever. You cannot make another person change where they are on their path. You can only hold the space for them. You can only shine the light of unconditional love and acceptance for them. You can't force them at all. And yeah, in certain levels, we like, well, I'm gonna pray for you, and we get the pastor and this person and that person. We try to get some monks and some other people to help us pray for my cousin or my brother, and he's doing this, and I had a dream and he died and such, I want to help him. And we try to get all these people to pray for them or get them to awaken to what you see. Yeah, it is pretty dramatic. But once again, no matter how many people we reach to, how many collectives or group prayers or mass meditations we set up to attempt to change the way your family member thinks or what they're doing, we cannot violate their free will. And in truth, the same way works with compassion. We can't force another person to accept themselves because they'll beat themselves up all day, and I'm not doing this right and I'm not doing that right, and get drunk and I ain't on the right path and I don't know what I'm doing, and just a bunch of talking, scared, so on and so forth. regardless of how much energy or compassion or what have you we send to them, they still have to make the choice to be compassionate with themselves. It's still their choice. We can do magic and witchcraft and attempt to do all this stuff. These tools that we attempt to work with on an esoteric or divine level. And once again, you cannot violate that soul's free will. Never. The same thing goes for, as an example, working with crystals, right? You can give them the biggest amethyst you want. You can sage the room and make a crystal grid around their house. It doesn't matter, because once again, whenever a soul receives a crystal, it will not affect them unless they are open to accept the effects that the crystal has. That goes with the individual as well. You can receive all the crystals you want, but if you are not open to the effects or the vibration of that crystal, it won't affect you. It won't affect you at all. Because once again, these are conscious tools. We harness the energy and power of those tools based on agreement. Based on agreement, we have to accept the idea of the vibration of this crystal piece or this tool or sage cleaning the room and so on and so forth. We have to accept those ideas in order for them to take effect. Because if we don't, they will not have any effect. They won't at all. I've stated this before, or we've stated this before. It's only when you acknowledge magic, it's only when you acknowledge the magic that you experience magic. It's only when you acknowledge magic that you experience magic. If you feel like everything is black and white and you're not open to the idea of miraculous things taking place, there is no experience. Once again, you have to acknowledge magic in order for magic to exist in your reality. Because once again, you are the creator. And based on your belief systems, it designs the nature of your experience. If you have all these blockages and you don't believe this and don't believe that and only, Jesus is the way and that's it and all this stuff, devil worship and blah, 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 so on and so forth, like that's going to be your box. Even though life is infinitely intelligent and ever expanding, if you accept to be in this space and only these things can take place, then yeah, no doubt that it, and so it is. And so it is. Recognize what you're saying to yourself. Yes, it's just getting crazy and crazy out here in these streets. You can't trust nobody. Acknowledge what you're saying to yourself. And reflect on the level of emotion that you're expressing these ideas with. Recognize what you're affirming, God. What are you affirming for yourself? What are you creating for yourself? With your own lips, with your own mouth. Your word is your wand. What are you creating for yourself? Personal responsibility time. It gets deeper. There's more. Each and every day, there's more. Compassion. Inside first. Are you willing to let yourself off the hook? Are you willing to let yourself off the hook? It makes your path easier, this level of compassion and acceptance. It makes your path so much easier. It opens up so many doorways for you to walk through. So many options are opened up based on your ability to accept and allow and be open. Openness is the home of wisdom. The moment a person feels like they know everything and they cut off all other possibilities, they exist in a space of ignorance because they're not open to more information. Each and every day, infinite intelligence is taking us to school. Each and every day, infinite intelligence is taking us to school about our own experience. And the moment we decide that we don't want any more information because we know everything, is the moment infinite intelligence pulls a rabbit out of his hat to show you, no, you don't. Relax. Masters know that they're students. We wake up taking notes because we know that we're students. This is the nature of our journey.